So I'm back with a how-to video. It's been a little while since I've done one of these. While I was doing this how-to video, my phone overheated on me. So I got the brake pads off. I compared the size of the brake pads. And then as I was going to adjust the cylinder on the caliper, I went to grab my phone so I could record what I was doing, and my phone told me that it was overheated and I had to wait to use it. So I wasn't able to record any more of the video than that. So I don't know what I'm going to do about the rest of the video, but I am going to at least post the first half of the video, which would be all the way up to taking the brake pads off, but not including putting the brake pads back on, which is actually the more difficult part of changing the brakes. So today I'm going to be showing you how to change the brakes on an '09 Honda Civic. So there's a couple of tools that you're going to need to get started with this. So you're going to need brake pads. I got this at AutoZone. They are lifetime brake pads, so anytime they get worn down, you just swap out the old ones with the new ones, take them back, and they give you a refund for the price of the brake pads. You're going to need a jack. I just picked this up at AutoZone for $60. Every car comes with a jack, but I always recommend using a floor jack because it makes life a whole lot easier whenever you're doing stuff under the car. It's a lot safer too. A good socket set. So I just found this at AutoZone for 10 bucks. I'm gonna need a lug wrench for pulling off the tires, and you may need a C-clamp depending on how worn down your brake pads are. Here we are, we're gonna place the jack under the car. So when you're placing the jack, you want to find this support right here, because that's going to be the most stable point for placing the jack and keeping the car up while you're replacing the brakes. So now I've got the car lifted. That's where I can get the tires off. Now to start changing them. So one thing that makes life a whole lot easier, which I forgot to do, is to loosen the lugs before you lift the car off the ground, because if you don't, your tire will just spin. Loosen. We're going to take them off of the tire. They're a little bit warm because I just finished driving. So I'd recommend doing this after your car is cooled down for a little while. Got the lug nuts off, it's time to take the tire off. You can just set that to the side for now. So this right here is your caliper. That's what we're going to swing this off and change out the brake pads. Loosen this bolt right here, and that's going to let the caliper swing up so that you can change the brakes. And this is a 13 millimeter bolt, and always remember, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Maybe. Maybe it's a 12 millimeter. It is a 12 millimeter bolt, not a 13 millimeter bolt. Okay. There we go. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of force to make them break free. That piece just swings right up. And here's the old brake pads. They're pretty worn down. So since this is hot, using a screwdriver to pry it off a little bit. Really easy. Here's a comparison of the thickness of the new pads and the old pads. So as you can see, it's not too difficult to replace the brakes on a car. The most difficult part is actually adjusting the cylinder if you need to. That's what the C-clamp was for. You take one of the old brake pads, you put it over the top of the cylinder, you take the C-clamp, and you adjust to tighten the clamp, and that'll press down on the cylinder, and that'll allow for you to be able to put the new brake pads on. One thing to remember whenever you're doing that is to make sure that you have the cap off of the brake fluid reservoir so that you don't just build up pressure inside the